Welcome back, everybody. So hopefully you've got a really clear overview now around what we were trying to achieve with SRFSI. We're going to have to steal about 5 minutes from session 2's discussion to use that here because of our technical difficulties. What we want to do in these discussion sections, and this one will be shorter because hopefully we've covered most things, but to first open the opportunity to any of the reviewers, if they have any questions around why SRFSI was established and what we were trying to do. Once we pass from the reviewers, if anybody else feels that there's something that is absolutely integral that wasn't discussed around why SRFSI was established and what we were trying to do, that will be the opportunity to bring it up. So first, if I pass to our reviewers, if you have any questions about the justification for SRFSI. Ranjit.
Brendan, thank you. Thank you everyone for an extremely rich set of presentations and videos and setting the scene. Very useful. I don't think my question is about whether we have enough justification of why and how, but I mean, we don't have to answer this question now, but something for you to note and, you know, to address in the sessions that would be forthcoming. It's really about, yes, we've heard a lot of, I mean, it's an extremely rich and complex project, great documentation, great M&E, a lot to learn. So fantastic effort, fantastic outputs, I think. And we've heard a lot about things that have worked really well. I'm just curious about, what do you think hasn't gone well in these various phases? And if you had to do this all over again, each of those phases, what would you do differently? And how has what you learned in a particular phase, how was that addressed in the subsequent phases to sort of, you know, move the project, the activities, the understanding, the learnings to the next level? Thank you. You're muted, Brendan.
I promise I unmuted myself, but thank you. A really thoughtful question. I think we'll have to take it on notice given the time and maybe return to this in the final session where we have a bit of a longer discussion and let's see what we can tick off and then what we still need to do. And if not, we'll go to some additional sections. Thanks. Any other questions from reviewers? Professor Hamid, you seem to be on and off. Do you have a question? Perhaps not. All right. Then opening the forum, did anybody have anything that they think is very
What I was interested to learn that you have in the first phase, you did a lot of experiments and eventually you perhaps developed a set of technologies, CASI technologies for different regions, or did you try the same technologies to these 8 districts or in 3 regions equally?
Okay, thanks, Professor Hamid. I'll try and answer briefly, and then Mahesh, if I miss something, you can jump in. But essentially, there's the overarching CASI package, but that was regionally different. For instance, 2-wheel tractors in Bangladesh as opposed to 4-wheel tractors in the other locations. The same with direct seeded rice being having less potential in West Bengal compared to the other locations. So whilst we have the overarching package, we then do have regional differences. Mahesh, did you want to add anything to that?
Thank you very much. And then, you know, all CASI packages were, you know, validated and, you know, refined and fine-tuned as per the local need and then geographical areas as well. So it was not exactly like same management, nutrient, and then agronomic packages and all are different as per that. There are different cropping systems as per the, you know, ecoregions and geographic areas. So like Bihar and then Nepal was more on rice wheat, but Bangladesh was more on rice maize and rice and rice wheat, and then so on. So there was a differences in cropping system as well as also in management practices and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. Given the time, anybody that would like to raise something that they think is really important to SRFSI's establishment? All right, great. That means our 3 project leaders have hopefully done a good job of setting the scene